Now let's get into adding the final touching detail to this red strap that I had in mind. And I want to know, I don't think I have it in here. Yeah. So I found this cover of a book that I really liked. And I liked it because it had this detail on it. And what I liked about it is it was pretty nondescript, but it still was ornate. And to me, it felt kind of elvish in a way, which probably isn't, but, well, definitely isn't, but I just like that detail. So I want to utilize this. However, I can't do it in its current form. So I'm going to take this image into Photoshop and manipulate it. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a nice clean strip that I can tile. And I think I'm going to go with this strip here. And get that. I'm going to create a new document with just this piece in it, and I'm going to minimize that for a second. And I want to increase the canvas and double it. And I want to try to create a tileable out of this. I'm going to a section that I know can be duplicated. I'm just going to try to blend this in the best I can. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be close enough. And that's close enough. And this will work just fine. So I'm going to crop this. And a section I think that will be in the work. And here's the basis for a tileable. Yes, it's pretty rough, but it doesn't have to be anything crazy special, and I'll show you why once we get back into Mari. Now that I'm happy with this, I'm going to create a mask out of it. I'm just trying to isolate the gold. Like so. And I'm going to paint back some of this noise up here, which we won't need. Awesome. So I'm going to save a, let's call it embroidery mask, and then we'll save a duplicate embroidery cull. Okay, let's try to use this now. So I'm going to isolate these. I'm going to go to Ortho UV view so I can see it in context. Like so. And in this red leather strap, I'm going to create a new layer called embroidery. And I'm going to create a mask. It's going to reveal all. And first I'm going to paint into this color with the color. And I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. And I'm pretty sure this is the orientation that I want. Let me just double check. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to just lay it down. I'm just trying to line it up as best I can. So the point of creating that tile, actually, let me show you what I originally wanted to do. I wanted to start with something like this. And if I hit the semicolon, it's going to create a tileable for me that I can continue. So that way I can put that on pretty easily. And there you go. Very, very simple. However, I just realized that the mask that I created here is actually going to be kind of useless. But that's okay, because I can actually use what I've already painted down in the color. So I'm going to copy this embroidery. I'm going to go into my layer mask, create a mask group, and in there paste it back in. And I'm going to manipulate it in order to get what I had in Photoshop. So I'm going to do a luminance, and then I'm going to do a levels. Try to bring it back. And I can actually, if I select here, it's going to show me my mask that I've got selected, so I can better judge what's going on. So I can create a better mask this way. And now I have my embroidery, but it's going a little dark. So again, I'm going to go back into here, and I'm just going to brighten it. Actually, that's not going to work. I'm going to brighten it in here. Now I have to do another levels. Oh, sorry, no. What I want to do is I want to actually brighten the color. Since the mask is set in place, I just want to worry about the color itself. There we go. So now I can brighten this up to get it to read a bit better. And voila! Some really nice, cool detail for the embroidery, and it feels like etched in gold lace. Feels a lot more expensive. Gives a nice little attention for your eyes to look at when you have all these broad areas of kind of even texture. You got this nice little detail. It's really going to help break things up. So let's do that to this piece here as well. And it's right here. So I'm going to make sure I'm painting in my embroidery. Actually, I'm going to have to paint it in the mask first. Like so. Actually, I want to reverse that around so it lines up with the other piece. There we go. I'm going to bake that down, and then I'm going to So I'm going to bake this down into the mask, and then I'm going to select my embroidery and bake this down again. So it's an exact copy of the two. So when I go back here, I have it in place. And there we go. Awesome. So there's a really quick and easy way to get some detailing. And what's nice is, again, it's completely non-destructive. So it's a separate layer, and I can change the color of it, I can change the intensity of it, I can do whatever I want based off of request. So I'm very happy with that. We're going to do the same thing now to this collar edge, and I said I wanted some elvish ruins on there. So let's get to that. So this leather's done, so I'm going to cache this layer. And I'm going to go above the gold here. And create a mask to start with. So I want to isolate those pieces, so it's going to be here. And I've found some text here that I want to lift. Directly on, like so. I'm not too worried about top and bottom, because I'm going to paint that out. Do the same thing over here. This time I believe I have to flip it. Oh no, that's the right orientation, so this is going to work. Move that down so it's centered. Like so, and then just finish it off here. Like so. And from here I'm going to grab a really hard edge brush, make sure it's white, and I'll paint out the extras, because we don't want this in the mask. So coming up with this kind of detail and these kind of subtle nuances are really going to bring your textures to life and provide it a little backstory without even telling a story. And it's this stuff that's really going to sell the final look and breathe personality into your textures. So from here, to finish off this mask, I'm going to create another layer here. I'm going to drag it underneath, and in my UV view I'm going to grab the patches and then fill with white. And then I'm going to merge these. I have a perfect mask. Like so. And I have to invert this mask now. So I'm actually going to do an invert on the current paint target, like so. So now I have a beautiful mask of the ruins. And I'm just going to clean up some extra bits that I see. And voila. So from here, I'm going to screen this into the paint and fade it back. And there we have the Elvish ruins. And so what I want is, I want these Elvish ruins to go black in the spec, so I'll be able to read them a bit better. I can go different ways with this. I can decide, hey, I actually want this to be black and be etched in dark, so I can just do a multiply and then do an invert. So now I have them in black. So just, personal preference, and I can increase this a bit, because I don't necessarily want it to be etched in and engraved. I just want to be almost like a laser etching, make it feel a little bit more magical. And as you can see, because we UV'd this correctly, this is flowing perfectly all the way around, like so. And it gives a really nice, elegant look. But for now, I'm gonna hide that and do a screen because I like the white. It makes it feel a little bit lighter, less heavy. And there we have it. So I'm going to end this recording, and then next recording we're going to continue doing some detailing on this shoulder pad and the black leather, and then finish it off and finish off the color maps.